Hey everyone, welcome to this video. So in this video I'm going to show you how to use Photopea. Alright, so it's called Photopea. So we are going to use this free photo editor. So go to photopea.com, and once you open it, it's going to look like this. Alright, so now let's get started. So the first things first, to make a new file, all you have to do is you go to File and then you click on New. So from here you'll see some templates. You can choose a template here if you want. There are a couple of them, and you can search for a template here. For example, you can say gift card to find one. So you see these are the gift card templates. But right here, you see this is the width and the height of our canvas. So let's say that we want to have 800 pixels by 800 pixels. Alright, so 800 by 800 pixels, and this is the DPI. So if you are working for print, you have to change it to 300, but since we are working on a design for computer, we'll stick with 72. And this is the background of the canvas, so we are not going to touch that. We can click on create to create a new document. And before I click on create, there are some other custom sizes for you. For example, if you want to make a thumbnail for your YouTube video, you click on YouTube thumbnail and it will give you the correct dimensions. So if you click on YouTube thumbnail, or if you want to make a Twitter header, you click on Twitter header, and these are some headers for Twitter. You can click on them and choose Twitter, aka X nowadays, so people call it X. If you want to, for print, for example, if you want to make an A4, you can click on print, and these are the papers and letters and stuff like that. You can click on screen. This is the VGA, stuff like that. This is the mobile for cell phones, for example, iPhone X. You click on this and it will make a canvas based on an iPhone X. And you can click on ads. So ads, these are the ads that you make. So these are some sizes you can click on and choose from. But I'm going to click on create basically here. So I'm not going to do anything here. I'm going to click on create up here. So you see right here, if I click on square, it's going to change the width and the height. So now I'll have to retype 800 by 800 pixels. Alright, so 800 by 800. So these are 800 by 800. And now I can click on create. But before I click on create, there is one more thing. So you see this is the width and height in pixels. But if you want to change it to percent, you can click on percent, millimeters, inches. It's up to you, but I'm going to stick with pixels. So I'm going to click on create, and there you go. So we have our first canvas here. So this is like our paper. We'll have to, we can draw here, we can do a lot of things. So right here you see we have the layers panel. So just like Photoshop, if you have used Photoshop, this is the layers panel. You can click on a new layer by clicking on this little thing, and it will make a new layer. So layers are just like, you put things on each other. For example, let's brush something. So I'm going to choose a brush, and I'm going to right click here to resize it a little bit, and I can slide this up to resize my brush. Just like Photoshop, I'm going to put one here. So you see I have just added a stroke of brush there, and I'm going to make a new layer. So I'm going to click on this new layer. You see this is a new layer, and now if I change the color, so to change the color you click on this little color here, and you can change it to a different color. So let me choose green, and if I click on this one, you'll notice that this one will be on top of the other stroke, because this layer is above this one. For example, if I want this blue stroke to be above this green one, I can simply drag layer 1 and drop it on layer 2, and now you see, now we have the blue one over the green one. So this is how you use layers basically. Now we are going to delete these. So I'm going to click on this trash can. Okay, so we have deleted these layers. We don't have anything here. So now we are going to take a look at this tool, which is the text tool. So if you click on text tool, this is your text tool. You click on it, you'll choose a font here. You can click on this drop down and choose a font from this menu. You can also choose the thickness of your font. Some fonts have medium and italic, stuff like that, but some fonts have 2 or 3 options. So let me choose Roboto Slab. Let me find the Roboto Slab. So Roboto Slab. This is my favorite font. I'm going to click on it, and you see I have Roboto Slab selected. So I'm going to change the medium to bold, and I'm gonna click here basically. So let me click here. So go to text and let me type in my first text. So you see I have added the first text here, and I'm not going to change the color or anything because we'll be able to use the color and change it now. So I'm going to resize it now. I'll place it here at the top, and I'm going to if you want to move things around, you just uh, click on it and you move it. So I'll show you how I transform text actually. So once you type in, you right click and you go to free transform. So click free transform and you'll be able to move it around. And when you want to place it here, for example, you can click on this check mark to confirm, or you can press enter on the keyboard. Should be the same thing. So now let's look at some important things. So now this is the layer of first text. You see it has added the layer for that. I can right click on that and go to blending options. So if you click on blending options, these are the options that you will use to add effects to the text. For example, you see we have this text here and we are styling that text. So now let's add a color overlay. So let's add a color over this text. So I can click on color overlay and you see it will be black because the color right here is black. But if I click on it, you see if I click on color overlay, I can change that color to a different color. So I clicked on color overlay now. I have put a check mark next to it. I'm going to click on this black and I'm going to choose whatever color I want. So let's go with something blue. Maybe like this. I can click on OK. If you want to drop a shadow, you can click on drop shadow, put a check mark next to it, and click on next to it. You see it will be highlighted. So you see we have added the red shadow behind it. So we can change the distance of our shadow by moving this slider up or down. We can change the angle by clicking on this little thing. It will rotate it. You see I'm rotating my angle of my shadow. I am going to place it probably 140 degrees. I could have punched that in here, negative 140 for example. It would have done the same thing. And you can change the color of the shadow. And click on it and so you see this is 3D actually. So this is the 3D shadow. So we have added the 3D to it. So the one above it is the shadow. So shadow is basically the same thing. So you see you can choose 3D or drop a shadow. You can use 3D. I like 3D a lot better than shadow, but this one, you see it's also like that. You can change the opacity, the color. So this is more realistic because this one is actual shadow. And this is the distance. We can play with all of these. It's up to you what you want to do with it. And this is the basic of adding drop shadow and color overlay. Also, we can add a stroke. So you see we have stroke here. We can click on check mark next to it. you see it will add a stroke around our text. So now I can click on stroke, it will be highlighted. So you see I can change the stroke color to a different color, and you can click on OK. So you can add another stroke by clicking on this plus here. So if you click on that, you'll notice that it will add another stroke. So you can change the color again and resize it. You'll notice that it will add another one. So this is the red one. So this is the red one. And this one, let me change it to a different color so we will see how it works. So you see this one is green. So you see I have added the red and then I have added this green one. So we can add 3 or more, or we can add as many strokes or gradients and stuff like that. You can turn it off. So if you don't like a stroke, you basically uncheck it and it will be off. Alright, you can toggle it on or off. You can play with inner glow and shadow, but I want to talk about gradient overlay. So if you click on gradient overlay, it will be a gradient, but you see now might not work. We will not be able to use it here. I don't think that we'll be able to use it because it's a text and we have not selected that. But we'll play with the gradient later. So now this is how you use the blending mode. So you right click and go to blending mode and you'll see all of these options. So you right click on the layer and you go to blending options. So right here you'll see all of the options. Let's go to gradient overlay. You'll see that it will add a gradient to our text. So you see now some of it is light here and the bottom of it is black because you see the gradient is like that. We can rotate it, of course. You see it adds the white and we are rotating our gradient. Now it's linear. We can change it to radial. It will be like a spot, or we can choose reflected. You can change the style of your gradient, but I'm going to keep it linear. And now let's edit the gradient. So click on this little thing and you see we have 2 colors, black and white. So let's change it to red and blue. So I'm going to click on this one here and I'm going to change this color to red. So at the bottom we can change it to, so this one is red and this one you can click on it and change it to blue. So blue, okay, okay again. Oops, it did not change it, so let me change it to, so let me add it. So you see I can delete this white color by clicking on this handle, click on delete. You'll notice that we have only red and blue here. So you can increase blue here. This is the middle point, so you can move this point here. And as soon as if you want more colors, you click here and you'll add more points. So you see we have 5 colors now. We can change these colors by clicking on them and changing them to a different color. So you see we have some different colors and we are adjusting our gradient based on what we want. So I'm gonna click on OK and OK now, and voila, we have added gradient to this text. Alright, so this was about how to add gradient to your text. So I'm gonna get rid of this text now. So before I get rid of it, I'm gonna turn it off. You see there's an eye next to the layer. If I just click on that eye, you'll notice that eye will be unchecked and it will hide my layer. So it's not still there. If I want it later, I'll just check this and it will come back. So now let's go to the tools to the left. We are going to talk about these tools a little bit. Right now I'm going to open Google and search for free images. So free images to use. And we will look at this website. It's called Unsplash. So I'm going to search for an image. So let's bring this one. Why not? We are going to use this one. I'm going to right click on it and go to copy image. And I'm going to go to edit, paste. So you see we have basically copied that image and pasted it here. So now we will be able to edit it. So now if you want to select this, what you can do, you can go to the Lasso tool, and Lasso tool is the free selection tool. Basically you click and you make the selection. So you have to start and go around the object. You see we are trying to do our best to select this flower. So we just do this. Alright, so we just select our flower and we go back to where we started. We connected it back there. And you see I have selected this extra part, but it's okay. Now I can go to edit, copy, and edit, go to paste. So you see, if I turn this layer off, the one below it, you'll notice that I only have this flower in my hand. I can remove this extra part. So to do that, I can go to the eraser tool, which is this one. I can right click on it and go to eraser tool. Now let me resize it. I'll be able to simply erase it just like that. So click and erase it. You can always undo what you have done by going to edit and click on undo or redo. Alright, so you click undo and it will bring back the whole thing. So I'll show you how to undo. So to undo it, you press Ctrl Z to undo what you have done. So if I want to go back, I can press Ctrl Z. If I want to undo it, you see, Ctrl Z. And if I want to go forward one more step, I can press Ctrl Shift Z. Now, let's say that I want this part to be removed. So I'll have to zoom in to be more precise. I can right click here and resize it to, I can make it smaller, and basically I can just erase it here. Okay. All right. So we have done that. Now that's how you erase the background of the object. Now let's say that we want to move this one to the right. I can go to the Lasso tool again, right click on it and go to free transform, and I can use these points to resize it. You see there are some points around here. I can go to the top left and I can resize it, place it here and press enter to confirm. Let's look at this tool, which is the eyedropper tool. So you see right here, this is the eyedropper tool, and what it does, it picks the color from this object. So let's say that I want this pink color, so I want the code of this pink color, and let me zoom in. So I'm going to press Alt and scroll up to zoom in. So you see, if you are on Mac, you press Option and you use scroll up just to zoom in. So now right here we can click on any part of this image. So I can go to the eyedropper tool, make sure it's selected, click on it and hold the click. You'll notice that it shows you the color. So we don't need to look at and memorize the color code. The computer will do it for us, but I want this dark pink color. So I'm going to release my click, and now let's go to the text tool and type that in. So let's say invitation. So you see we have added a text with that code. So you see I have added this, we have picked this color from this flower, and I'm going to press enter to confirm it. So you see we have our invitation text here. So let's say that this is an invitation card or something. So let's assume that this is an invitation card or something. You are inviting people to your garden. All right. So now we have that there. Now let me grab another image. Let me add some flowers. So let me search for some flowers. Let's say that we are looking for some flowers in the garden. Flowers garden. I'm gonna search for that term. I'm gonna pick this one up. All right, so I'm gonna pick this one. I'm going to right click on it, go to copy image and paste it here. So you see, I have pasted it. Now all of my design is behind this image. So now all I have to do is I'll have to move my mouse over this layer 3 and I'm going to drag it down I'm going to drag it all the way down right above the background. I'm going to place it there. So you see, now we have added that image behind these layers. So you see everything else is on top of it. So now we will have to resize it. Again, to resize something, you go to the lasso tool, right click, go to transform, and let me make it smaller. Resize it. So let me resize it. I'm going to place it right here, maybe around here. Okay, I'm gonna press enter. When I'm happy with it, I'm gonna press enter. So, okay. But you see now this text is not readable. So we'll have to place something behind it. So to place something behind it, it's real easy. So go below that invitation where it says invitation. So this layer is below it. I'm gonna click on that and I'm going to click on create a new layer here. So you see we have layer 4 here. So now we will go to brush and I'm going to change the color to white. Click on OK. Oops, what did I do? Apologies. What happened? Sometimes things happen, huh? Yeah, where did that gradient come from? I did not want that gradient. Okay, so let me turn this on and off. So, okay, so the gradient has been applied to that image. Maybe you'll have to replace it. So we'll have to repaste the image. So I'm sorry about that. Let me resize it. So when you paste the image, you'll see these handles to resize the image and try to adjust it with your canvas and then press enter. Okay, so now let's add some white background behind that text. So I'm going to click on behind the text, which is layer 2. I'm going to create a new text and right here I'm going to click on brush and brush here basically. You see it says invitation. So maybe I can make a selection first. So let me go to the rectangular tool or the rectangle tool and I'm going to make a rectangle here and then I'm going to click on brush. So you see I'll have a nice rectangular background applied to that. So I'm going to go to selection tool or lasso tool and click here. Okay, so we have that there. Now let's adjust these colors. So you see this flower is kind of close to the color of the background. So to do that, I can select the flower. And before I do that, I want to rename these. So you see this one will be the background. So I'm going to double click on the layer 3 here and I'm going to rename it to background image. So we'll know what each layer is. So flower, we have the invitation here is already there. We have the background. So oops. So let me rename this Okay, I'll just keep it as B there. It's not a big deal. This will be the original. I'm not keep there. Okay, so you see that gradient color has been applied to this again. So this is not a good thing. Okay, how did that happen? I'm not sure how that happens. But I'm going to choose the brush and I'm going to brush it again. So I'm going to create a new layer again, rename it to background. For invitation, I'm going to make a selection behind that invitation there, and I'm going to brush it with white. Okay, so now let's adjust the colors of this layer 3. So I'm going to go to image, adjustment, then if you want to add color to something, you go to hue and saturation. So from here, I'm going to add some saturation there. And you see, we have added more colors there. And now you see, we are adding more colors to all of it. But if you want to only add or increase saturation of the red, you click on the range here and choose red. And now we will add more saturation to the red color. So you see, I'm gonna keep it like that. Now we have a nice background there, and right here we are going to a vertical line, and to do that I'm going to choose this tool. So I'm going to right click on the lasso tool and go to polygonal lasso tool. So right here you click, and if you drag down, you'll notice that it will draw a straight line. So I'm going to click here maybe and go right, go up, and I'm going to connect it to where I started. Now I'm going to the brush tool, but before I start brushing, I'm going to add a new layer here, and I'm going to name it right BG because it will be the right side background. And I'm going to brush it now. So you see we have added this nice white color there. Now I'm going to deselect. So to deselect, you right click here, you go to lasso tool, and you click anywhere. So now let's say that we want to add some text here. We can go to the text tool and we can click anywhere to start typing. So I'm going to say welcome, but you see the text is huge. It's okay. I can go to this size and resize it before I type in. So let me go with 16 pixels, and I'm going to say welcome to our garden. Okay, and I'm going to add an address here. So address colon 255, for example, East Rancho. Now I'm going to click on lasso tool and right click, go to free transform. Now let me resize it a little bit, make it bigger, probably like that. All right, I'm going to keep welcome to our garden there, but you see where it says welcome to our garden? I want to have bigger words. So to do that, I'm going to uncheck this. I'm going to move it to the left. So move it to the left. Okay, and now I'm going to do word by word. So I'm going to choose this pink color again. So I'm going to go to the color picker, choose this color from the invitation, and I'm going to say welcome. So only welcome. So welcome should be on the top. So I'm going to say, for example, welcome, and I'm going to place it here. Maybe I don't want it to be too big. Okay, welcome here to our garden. So I'm going to copy this and paste it. So I copied it and pasted it. Now I'm going to drag it down, go to free transform, Welcome to our garden. To our, just like that, and then garden will be below it. So I'm going to change uh, the text, and I'm going to add styling to it later, to our garden. So, okay, welcome to our garden. I'm going to move it to the left, just like that. And let me add the address there. So I'm going to go to the address, where it says address. I just want to add the address. Okay, and I'm going to get rid of this text, the old one. And let me add the address here. So you see, I have the address. I'm going to free transform. So free transform, make it bigger, press enter. I'm going to move this flower up. So I'm going to go to free transform, make it smaller a little bit, like that. So it looks nice. So you see it says welcome to our garden, and we have some address here. So now we can go to garden, right click on it, go to blending options. So from here we can add some blending options. So we are going to add some color overlay. So let's go to color overlay. So click on it, change the color, and now you see when you change the color, you'll be able to choose any color from the design. So I'm going to click on this pink color from the invitation, and I'm going to click on enter. I have that there. I'm going to click on OK. Now I'm going to do the same thing where it says welcome to our. So I'm going to click on welcome, right to click on it, go to blending options, go to color overlay, and we can have the same color there, but I think I'm going to change it to a green color. So I'm going to click on this color and go with something green. Let me go with this olive color. Welcome to our garden. Okay, so now our design is not bad, and I like it so far. But I think this is it for this video, guys. And before I do that, I'm going to show you how to save this as a PNG file or as a Photoshop file. So to do that, you go to File, and then you go to Save as PSD. So this is the Photoshop document. If you click on Save as PSD, it will save it as a Photoshop file. But I'm going to click on Export as PNG, and I'm going to click on PNG, and this is the design. So now if you click on save, you'll notice that it will download it on your computer. So on your computer, you can just open it. Let me just open the downloads. You see, this is what we have designed today using the basic skills of Photopea. So I'm going to file save as Photoshop because I will have another video coming up after this. So I will call this first design. So first design, and I'm going to click on save. Right here, I think I'm gonna pause. So in the next video, we will learn more complicated stuff. All right. So today we did the basics, and in the next video, we will do some more complicated stuff. I hope you like the video, everyone, and subscribe to my YouTube channel.